Well, there's kind of two main pieces of advice. The first is, and I've shown this many times on stream, but I'm going to show it again because it's super important, is realizing what our mental learning capability is like. So this is extremely important to know because it applies to everyone and any type of artist. So when you're learning any skill, especially an art skill, you have a difference between your ability at making art versus your ability to see and evaluate art. So essentially your hand or your ability to draw or animate learns and improves at a different rate than your eyes and your brain, its ability to see mistakes and analyze what's wrong. And when you have that discrepancy, what you're going to get is this, where your ability over time has this wave pattern. And you're going to have these moments where your skill at making art right here goes up really high. That's the blue line. It goes up very fast and you learn some new things. And at that moment, that's the art high, where it's like, wow, I'm learning, I'm amazing. It looks so good. I didn't know I could do this stuff. Whoa. But then it plateaus. As you learn those skills, you suddenly kind of slow down in your learning, which is normal. We always kind of slow down at some point. So you're going to plateau right there. And when that happens, your eyes are improving at their own rate. And you're going to have this moment where your eyes suddenly go, oh, I can see more mistakes now. I can see things that I never could see before. I understand what I'm looking at now, which is great because you can analyze animation better. You can find mistakes more easily, but it creates the art low where your eyes only see mistakes. You look at your work and it's like, everything looks wrong. Everything looks bad. You can look at someone else's work and go, okay, that is what I want to achieve. Mine is not there yet. I can see the discrepancy. I can see that my work isn't there, but I don't know how to fix it yet. And that sucks. And it comes back over and over and over. It is very, very important to keep this in mind, because if you don't realize this, it's very easy to fall into that habit of going, well, I suck as an animator, I suck as an artist. When you aren't, you don't actually suck. You have actually gotten better as an artist. Your eyes, your brain have gotten better at analyzing why things don't work, which is good. It's amazing, because the more you can do that, the more you can improve later on. So we just need to keep going. And that's where analysis comes in. When we get to these points of perceived lack of skill, what we need to do is, like I was saying earlier, do those master studies, or really dive into not just, oh, my work sucks, ew, I should quit, which is very tempting to do. And I've done it more often than I care to say. But what we should be doing is going, okay, I can definitely see that my work isn't where I want it to be. It's down here. I want it to be up here. Why? Why is it not there? And don't just go up again, oh, it sucks. That's why it's not up there, because it's bad. That's not a good analysis. That's not a critique. If a friend asked you to give you that same advice, would you usually go, oh, your work sucks, it's bad? No, that would be a terrible friend to do something like that. Instead, you would give constructive feedback. Okay, well, maybe my weight isn't there. Maybe my spacing, I tend to just make very even spacing on these actions when, if I do master studies, I notice that they're just going into that same type of move and they're doing it in 4 frames and I'm doing it in 12 or longer. So everything's really slow in my shots. Maybe I just don't have the weight in the hips in a lot of the shot and I need to exaggerate that. Maybe my facial expressions just aren't that interesting. They're kind of bland. Okay, well, why? Why do they feel bland compared to a Disney or Pixar shot? Well, maybe I'm not pushing the mouth corners enough. Maybe I'm not offsetting the face. Maybe I'm not getting a contrapost on the line of action. Maybe I'm not getting the sympathetic action. There's answers to these. And the more you can find those answers, not only are you going to boost your ability to see art, because now you're noticing those things. So you're boosting your eye for animation at the same time. You're going to now know how to approach the next thing. and essentially get more art highs and offset the art lows. That's really important. And then, like Adam Wilson just mentioned here, watching your old stuff reminds you of how far you've come and how bad you were when you started. So that's also good. You don't want to compare yourself to other people because you never know what journey they went on. You never know when they started learning. You don't know anything about them. It's not a fair comparison to go, well, they're better than me, I suck. Because they might have spent like twice as long, 3 times as long, 4 times as long studying and doing things that help them get to where they are. And it doesn't even just mean animating. Like you could have a new animator who just becomes really good, but maybe they spent years drawing or studying art on their own before approaching animation. So they just got this ability to know what they want right away. Whereas you might have started and you've never studied art before. So you're learning from a much different point of a starting point. The best thing to do is compare yourself to where you were. And once again, do it with an analysis in there. Don't just go, oh, my art was bad before, it's better now. Yay. Okay, that's great. But you can go, okay, but which areas do I feel haven't improved that much? That finds you your weaknesses. That gives you an area where now I can approach this weakness that I haven't improved as much. Let's push that. And that's going to bring your whole work up to a whole other level. Or vice versa, there are times when you're going to look at older work and go, oh, that was way better. That felt better. Maybe certain things on my new work has improved, but there's something in my old work that just felt more interesting. And that can happen. And that's disheartening. But again, take that time and go, okay, what did I forget? What did I miss? What have I lost along the way? How do I recapture that? As long as you're analyzing and answering your questions of why and how, you're going to keep improving and you're going to get better and better. The worst thing you can do is just go, my work sucks. Well, I'll just keep doing it until I get better. How? How are you going to get better if you don't know how to improve? If you don't know what you're not doing right? You need to do that analysis. Otherwise, you're just going to be spinning in circles and eventually you're going to get somewhere, but it's going to be a much harder road.